Yo, what's going on? Welcome back to Generation Red. It's that time of the year when we all start getting excited because somebody said that they seen Paul Pogba having a Costa in Eccles. So, with that being said, transfer window is now open. I'm going to talk about some players I think Salford City should take a look at. Some of them we might have absolutely no chance of signing. But that being said, I think I've got a case for all of them. Now, one of the players I think Salford should take a look at this season, and again, this comes down to us spending money as a football club, which over the last few years we've seen to go for players that are out of contract. However, I do think this player would be obtainable, and that is Forest Green Rovers central midfielder Charlie McCann. I've been talking about Charlie McCann for the last 12 months, especially when Forest Green were relegated down to the Conference League. I thought there was a real chance of somebody going in and picking him out of that division and bringing him back into the EFL. But with Forest Green Rovers missing out on promotion back into the EFL, I think now is the perfect time with Charlie McCann down to his final year in his contract. The former Manchester United and Rangers player has been racking up minutes in the EFL. He spent League One and League Two with Forest Green Rovers. Last season down in the Conference League, Charlie did rack up 40 appearances, scoring 11 goals and gaining 5 assists from that central midfield position. Now, why does this make sense? First of all, from a Forest Green perspective, being relegated from the EFL into Conference, you understand why they wanted to retain their best players in a hope they would bounce back automatically in the EFL, and that hasn't happened. Last year they announced they lost £3.2 million, and that is only going to continue to drop as they now play again in the Conference League. So with Charlie coming down to the final year in his contract, he's definitely one of the more valuable assets that they've got to sell on. But why does it make sense for Salford? We might be able to get him on a little bit of a cut price deal. As I say, he is down to his final year in his contract, and Charlie, having spent a year down in the Vanarama National League, might fancy a bounce back up into the EFL. Bringing someone like Charlie McCann in does also release some of the pressure for Osama Ashley. He played a lot of minutes last season, and it did kind of take its toll towards the back end when he was starting to pick up more frequent knocks to his body, and that is going to happen when a player is playing more than 40 times a year. Someone like Charlie has League One and League Two experience, so it wouldn't be like a young player coming in just to step in for Osama Ashley. It's a player that can play alongside him, but also when we really need that defensive midfield position covering and Osama Ashley is out, Charlie McCann is a more than adequate to come and fill that role. But that being said, he's also bagged 11 goals down in the Conference League, so he's not shy of a goal himself, and we've really missed that from our central midfield this season. Osama Ashley's bagged a few goals, but if we have someone like Charlie McCann who does like them piercing runs through the middle, it could really add another valuable attacking progression point for Salford going into this next season. Let me know in the comments what you think of Charlie McCann. Do you think Salford even have a chance? Obviously, it does come down to the club spending some money on a transfer fee, but as I say, it might be the time Forest Green think about cashing in on one of their prized assets, as he is now down to the final year in his contract. Let me know what you think.